paper lovers, it's Sarah, and today we're going to be making a card using one of the two brand new Scrappy Mom sets that were just released. And I'm going to be using a sentiment from the Owl Occasion set. And this is sentiments that have to do with owls. So stinking cute. I love to make projects with owls on them, and these sentiments are just perfect. So I'll put a link down in the bottom so that you can head on over and pick up your stamps. So let's go ahead and get started. This is just a standard 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 size card that I've made out of Paper Tray Inks craft cardstock. I'm going to set that aside. I am using the Cricut Imagine Blast Off cartridge. This is a cartridge that I didn't really think I wanted or could use, but I got it really cheap on eBay. I'll put a link down at the bottom also of the seller that I get my cartridges, my Imagine cartridges on. I've been able to find them really inexpensively. Otherwise, they're cartridges that I wouldn't purchase because they're so expensive. But anyway, so this is it's really fun pattern papers in here, and that's mainly why I got this one for the pattern papers. I am, however, using the owl from that cartridge. Okay, so I have two mats, and I've got this really cute orange and reddish flower mat, and this is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8, and then this yellowish color is 4 by 5 1/4. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere those together using my ATG. And I apologize if the lighting's bad, but I waited too long and the sun is already starting to go down. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and adhere these down. Oops, and then I'm going to go ahead and stick this down to my card. Right in the middle of our card. Man, I love this paper. Okay, so there's our card base. And then I've cut a scallop that is on that cartridge, and it is on page 48, and I cut it at 3 1/2. Let's go ahead and adhere that down. Okay, and I'm going to stick that right up. This is a super easy card today. I've been making a lot of easy cards lately because I find myself sometimes getting stuck trying to make super fancy cards, and then what happens is I end up not making cards at all. So I've been trying to make easier cards just so I can get some done and keep my card supply going. Okay, so now I have my little owl, and I don't know if you can see, but there's white stitching around this circle right here. And so I went ahead just to continue with that theme, and I stitched some white around the blue of my owl with my white gel pen. So I went ahead and did that myself. And this is one of the things I love about the Imagine, is you can see that the paper that they've used for the owl is the same paper that I used for the background. So it all coordinates and the colors match, and I absolutely love it. I'm so completely thrilled. There are some issues. I have issues with trying to keep my Imagine calibrated. Like sometimes it won't cut in the right spot, so my lines are off or my ink is in the wrong spot, but I've been able to live with it and figure out some things. So far, other than that, I'm absolutely thrilled with this machine. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and stick down my owl right here in my, I'm going to move this a little bit closer so I can get my owl in the center. Okay, so there's our cute little owl. I'm going to move this aside and go ahead and stamp our sentiment. So I printed out a little piece of that same yellowish background, and I'm going to go ahead and grab I'm going to use the Owl Be There For You, which is right here. Okay. I'll be there for you. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my scissors and I'm just going to cut a strip around my sentiment. And then I'm going to, it doesn't have to be perfect. Remember, this is handmade. Okay, I'm going to notch out the edges here like a little banner or a flag. Okay, so there's one side, and I'm going to do the other side. Okay. Goes out of the way, so let's go ahead and adhere that to our card. Okay, and that's going to go right down here in the center. Okay, and then I just have some finishing touches. I took, oops, sorry, got ink everywhere. There is this little shape here, and this is found on page 48. I cut it at 0.5 inches, and I'm not exactly sure what it is. So when I saw it, it looked to me like it's meant to be folded in half, and maybe it could be like a little tab on a page or something like that. But I decided I wanted to make it into a little flag. So what I'm going to do is, on this sentiment set, there's a tiny little owl. So I'm going to stamp this little owl onto my flag that I am making. Like that. Oh, it's so cute. And then I'm just going to fold that in half, right where the two pattern papers meet. Okay, so it makes like a little flag. Okay, and then what I did was I took a toothpick and I just used that for like the stick of my flag. So I'm going to go ahead and run some ATG in here. And I'm going to fold this around my toothpick, like so. Hopefully that looks like a little flag. Now my stick is a little long, so I'm just going to take my scissors and trim off a piece of my little flag. Okay, so I'm going to set my little flag aside, and I'm going to grab my card here, and I'm going to, I have some lemon drop baker's twine, and I'm going to make 2 little bows, and this twine can also be purchased on the Scrappy Moms blog. Okay, so I've got my 2 little bows made, and I'm going to grab my Scotch quick dry adhesive, and my first bow is going to go on my owl. Sorry, my doggies are barking outside. Kind of like up here in her little... I find myself adding little twine bows to almost every card I make. Okay, so this is what I did before. I took my Scotch and I just put a line of adhesive right down my toothpick. And then just kind of stick my little flag down. And this glue will dry clear, so you won't see it. Okay, so my flag is stuck down. I'm going to give it a chance to dry before I put my bow on there. I'm going to grab some Stardust stickles, and on my owl and on my flower background paper, I'm just going to put a little dot of the stickles in the center of each flower. Okay, so I don't know if you can see in the video, probably not, but I added the stickles to the center of each flower to give it a little glittery. Now my last thing is I'm just going to take this tiny little bow that I made out of that lemon drop twine, and with my Scotch quick dry adhesive, I'm going to stick it right on the top of my flag. And I do have to hold it there for a little while. So I'll let that one dry and I'll show you the other one that I made. So there's the little flag. I love how it turned out. And I kind of thought with the sentiment, I'll be there for you, it's kind of like this owl's, you know, rooting you on with their little flag, cheering you on. So that's my card for today. I hope you like it. Thanks everybody for watching, and have a blessed day.